Namaskar and welcome to Bhingacha Dhaapan. The kind of race you are going to look right now is a rarity on this channel, so make sure you watch it till the end. We are racing at Trial Mountain for about 10 laps. We are supposed to use just the medium. We are supposed to use just the medium tires. Pit stop is not mandatory. Tire wear is not high enough, and fuel usage is also not high enough. I'm racing in this Toyota GR with Barbie livery on it. During this race, we'll be taking a look at 4 other drivers apart from me, and those drivers are Chatwa Team Racing, who is leading the race right now. Behind him is Tino, behind him is Tico, behind him is me, Chopstick, and behind me is Dreaming Racing. So during the first early stages of any race, may it be short race or long race, my usual goal is to not get into trouble, not crash into a barrier or into another car, and just stay alive, and if possible work with the drivers around until it's absolutely necessary to fight. And this is something that Tino was probably not into, because he crashed into a wall and then he tries to block Tico because he was going past him, and Tico just was not having it and he pushes him into the wall. Chatwa Team Racing also, I don't know if he was sleeping on anything, but Chatwa Team Racing also gets overtaken by Tico. I follow Tico and overtake Chatwa Team Racing. Tino takes a different path and overtakes Chatwa Team Racing. Chatwa Team Racing supposed to have lost his will for racing, as you will see Dream Racing and Mattelli overtaking him. He has probably paused his game for some reason, I don't know why, but going from first to 6th position in a couple of laps is not something you look when you are leading the race. But anyway, enough about others. Let's come back to my own race. And we have managed to get into 2nd place in the first lap itself. This itself is a rare phenomenon and should be applauded and written in golden letters. But let's not get ahead of ourselves and let's not celebrate just yet, because as you can see, Tino is right behind us. Even though he has a 5-second penalty, this guy is quite fast and he will start pressuring us the moment he gets a chance, and he has already started pressuring us, but somehow we have managed to stay ahead of him. That is because of his mistakes as well. He keeps on making mistakes like getting on the power way too early, bumping into walls, and not taking the correct line. That kind of mistakes he keeps on making, and which keeps us ahead for the time being. But now he's quite clearly in the slipstream range, and by the end of this straight, he is looking for an overtake. I decide not to fight, at least for now, because if we start fighting at this early stage, we will only slow down each other. Someone will crash into each other and ruin one or the other's race. So it is better to take a step back, let people go ahead. And since he has a 0.5 second penalty, I'm thinking like, okay, he has a 0.5 second penalty, I can stay behind him. Once he serves his penalty and is slowed down enough, I can overtake him and go ahead with catching up with Tico. And that is exactly what is going to happen right now. He serves his penalty here. I was not quite close to him as I should have been, but I managed to get past him, but not as much as I would like. He is still in our slipstream range. he can still attack and gain back his second position. I don't know what had happened to me during this race. I make a small mistake here. That is the usual regular part. That is not I was talking about. I make a small mistake and Tino is able to go past me. And I was thinking like, okay, this guy is quite clearly faster than I am. So instead of fighting with him or instead of slowing him down, let's try and stay behind him, use his slipstream for our advantage and try and catch up with Tico. Okay, because if we start fighting right now, catching up with Tico would be impossible. So my main priority is to, if possible, get first place in this race. If not, get second. If not, then get third. So I start bump drafting him. I stay in his slipstream and I whenever possible give him a slight boost and let him know that I am not looking to fight. But that is not the strategy Dream Racing team seems to be using. Dream Racing team and Mattei, we are back to lap 1 and looking at Dream Racing and Mattei from the lap 1, from the beginning, and they seem to be fighting each other quite a lot. I mean, they literally are going into each other and being saved only by the ghosting mechanic of the game. I suppose they were quite evenly matched, because no matter which racing line both of them took, they reached at the apex of the turn at the exact moment every single time. Even take a look at this here. Tino comes in straight, Dream Racing comes around taking a different line, and they still manage to reach the apex at the same time. Skipping ahead, we'll be taking a look at another instance where these two guys seem to be fighting each other and ruining each other's race. To be honest, Dream Racing team is trying to move around the track. This time he is saved by the ghosting mechanic. This is the thing I was talking about. He rams into Mattei. Now I am not sure if that was intentional or accidental, but he managed to stay inside and gets in front of Mattei for a short moment of time. And this shows how competitive these two guys are, how evenly matched these two guys are, and what a great combination this track is. Because there are so many variety of cars right now. There is Mercedes SLS, there is Alfa Romeo probably, there is this Toyota GR Supra 19, there is the one I am using, Group 86, Group 486, I don't know what exactly the name is. In this tunnel they were banging doors, they were again bumping into each other, and having such a variety of cars and still having such kind of close racing is what this track and car combination is known for. This is where Mattei makes a mistake. He goes way too wide on this turn. Dream Racing team sticks to the inside line and manages to pull away from Mattei once and for all. Now coming back to our own race, around 5 laps have passed, 5 laps have passed, and it seems that Tino is pulling away from us. His pace is no match for my pace. What I was thinking right now is, okay, let's not make any mistake let's not make any effort to catch up with Tino, because he clearly seems to be fast, but he clearly seems to be making mistakes as well. And this is a huge mistake he makes, which allows me to go past him. And here I was thinking, okay, let's not try and go for second place, let's be happy in third place itself. But life had other plans, the race had other plans, and I get to second place without any fight. And I stay in second place for about 3 more laps. This is around lap 8, halfway through lap 8. and Dream Racing team seems to be catching up with me slowly but surely. This guy has an amazing pace. If he had not been involved in the fighting that was happening before, him and Mattelli could have been in the fight right now for a podium. And I sense the danger from Dream Racing team, and I went into defensive mode. I went to the inside of the track and tried to defend each and every corner that was possible. I was so into the zone and so focused that I had never been before. Watching all those Super GT videos are paying off, I should say. But during this time, I was like, okay, we are in lap 8 right now, and if I don't start defending this position now, I'm not going to be able to defend this position later as well. So it's now or never. It's fight or lose the position. Dream Racing team has an amazing pace. He has managed to catch up with me by the end of the race. It's do or die time. So I'm like, okay, let's calculate every single turn. I don't need to defend this turn. Let's go full flat out and take the usual line. Okay, I have done that. I have managed to pull away slightly from Dream Racing team. Okay, this turn I don't need to defend again since he is quite behind and he won't dive bomb this time. I go a little bit of deep, and this allows Dream Racing team to catch up with me. If you can check the radar, he is right behind me, and this in such kind of scenarios, usually I start panicking and I make some small mistake and ruin my race. But this time around, I'm like, okay, let's calculate what exactly is happening. I was thinking so fast, and I was not going to defend again here, but I think, okay, it's better to defend, and I switched to the inside of the track. But Dream Racing team is not looking for a move inside. He stays outside, and I managed to stay behind. I was a little bit slower for this portion of the track, which leads to us bumping into each other, but apart from that, I don't think we ever had any contact as such. We were not bumping into each other. We were not pushing each other off the track. It was pure contactless racing, pure defense, pure strategy. I was constantly considering if I should take the upcoming turn at a normal pace using the normal racing line, or should I go defensive. And I was surprised myself that I had managed to not make any mistake yet. I was on the final lap, and I was praying, okay, let's not make any mistake, let's even the slightest of touched on the grass and I could be facing the wrong way, maybe probably crashing into the barrier and ruining my race. So Dream Racing team is a safe distance behind me, and I was like, okay, every corner is a battle right now. If you win these small battles, I can win the race. And this is somewhere I lose the battle. I go defensive, my exit is not as good as it should have been, and Dream Racing team finally manages to get ahead of me. And he is once again start using his old trick of moving around the track. And I'm like, okay, if he stays on the outside of the track, I'm not going to move. I'm staying on the inside of the track. I'll be brave and brake a little bit later, stay on the inside, let him take the longer route, and I managed to get back into second position. Once I get back into second position in this area of the track, I'm quite confident no one can pass me. until the final two corners. The final two corners are the one which I dread the most. That is the corner on which you can get on the power slightly early and ruin your entire race. You can easily spin out of, I can easily spin out, but I managed to stay ahead. And looking at Dream Racing team behind, he probably cut his corner and ruin his exit of from the corner, and which gives me a quite long distance, and I managed to secure second position in this race, which was quite fun. It was a fun race, and after the race we share a little friendly chat, thanking each other for having a respectful racing and not ruining each other's race. And if you have liked this commentary and liked the video as a whole, please like the video and subscribe if you have not yet.